Let us begin Chapter 7, Section 6. Problem number 1. The random variable x is normally distributed with a mean of 75 and a standard deviation of 15. Calculate the probability that x to be greater than 96. So your first step is to calculate the z-score, and the z-score is xi minus the mean divided by the standard deviation. And once you calculate that, your z-score is 1.4. So now drawing your curve, the mean is now in the middle, which is 0. 1.4 is to the right of the mean, and you want greater than 1.4. So now you look at your table, your standard normal distribution table, and you go to 1.40, and that is 0.4192. So you take 0.4192 and subtract that from 0.5. Why 0.5? Because the whole side to the right is 0.5, and because it's a tail, so you take 0.5 minus 0.4192, and your answer is 0.0808. Problem number 2. Again, same process. Find the probability that the speed is between these two, 58 and 68. So you want to find the probability of speed is 58 between 68. So you have to find two z-scores. So the z-score of 58 is 58 minus the mean of 65, divide that by the standard deviation of 5. Once you calculate that, your answer is negative 1.4. And then the z-score of 68 is 68 minus the mean of 65, divided by the standard deviation, and that answer is 0.60. So drawing your curve, the mean is now 0, and your z-score is negative 1.4, which is to the left of the mean, and 0.6 is to the right. So you want to find these two areas. You already know the area of 1.4 is 0.4192. And let's look at the area of 0.6. So the area of 0.6 is 0.2257. So 0.2257. And you're going to add these two areas because the mean is in the middle. When the mean is shaded, you're going to add the two areas. So 0.4192 plus 0.2257 is equal to 0.6449. And that is the probability that the speed is between 58 and 68. Number 3, find the probability that the machine has a diameter of 1.965 or less. So the probability that x is less than 1.965, calculating the z-score, you have 1.965 minus the mean of 2 divided by the standard deviation, and that is 0.02. Calculating this, you have the z-score of negative 1.75. So drawing your curve, your mean is now in the middle, which is 0. Negative 1.75 is to the left, and you want less than, which is all this area to the left. So again, you know you're going to subtract 0.5 because it's a tail. So let's first find the area of 1.75. So you go to 1.7, you're going to cross to 0.5, and that is 0.4599. So you're going to take 0.5 minus 0.4599, and that is equal to 0.0401. And that is the probability. Number 4, what is the probability that the service time will be greater than 1 hour? Again, looking at the mean is in minutes, and your standard deviation is in minutes. Therefore, we have to change 1 hour into minutes, and we know that 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. So let's find the probability that x is greater than 60. So the z-score is equal to 60 minus the mean of 75 divided by the standard deviation, and that is equal to negative 2.5. Drawing your curve, the mean is 0. Negative 2.5 is to the left. So negative 2.5, and you want greater than negative 2.5. So the whole side to the right of the mean is shaded. Again, remember that total area is 0.5. So you know you're going to add 0.5 and not subtract. Let's first look at the area of 2.5. 2.5 is 0.4938. 0.4938 plus 0.5 is equal to 0.9938. And that is the total. Okay. Moving on to number 5. Here you have the mean. The weight of football players is normally distributed with a mean of 200 pounds and a standard deviation of 25 pounds. Find the probability that the player weighs more than 241.25 pounds. So let's find the probability that the player, x, is greater than 241.25. Let's calculate the z-score. So you have x, I minus the mean, 200, divided by the standard deviation of 25. And that calculations come out to 1.65. Now drawing your normal curve, let's look at let's place the 1.65 here. And greater than is all this area we're looking for. So the area of 1.65 is equal to 0.4505, 1.65. So 0.4505, and you're going to subtract it from 0.5 because you're looking at a tail. So 0.5 minus 0.4505 is equal to 0.0495. The next part for number 5, find the probability that the player weighs between 180 and 220. So find the probability that x is between 180 and 220. So we have to calculate two z-scores. So the z-score for 180 is 180 minus the mean, divide that by the standard deviation, and that calculation is negative 0.8. And the z-score for 220 is 220 minus the mean divided by the standard deviation, and that is equal to 0.8. So drawing your graph, you have the middle is 0, and the area is from negative 0.8 to positive 0.8. And you want the area in between. Again, the middle is shaded, so if the mean is shaded, you're going to add the two areas. So let's first look at the area. So the area of 0.8 is 0.2881. So you have the area between 0 and negative 0.8 is 0.2881. And the area to the right is the same, 0.2881. And you're going to add those two areas, and that is equal to 0.5762. The last part of number 5 is find the probability that the player weighs less than 190 pounds. So let's calculate the z-score. 190 minus the mean, divide that by the standard deviation, and that is equal to negative 0.40. So negative 0.40 is to the left of the mean, and you're looking for less than is all this area to the left. Looking at the area, so let's look at 0.40 is 0.1554. So you're going to take 0.1554 and subtract that from 0.5. Again, because it's a tail, it's a left tail, and that was a right tail, so it's the same procedure. Subtract it from 0.5, and the area is 0.3446 is the probability that the player weighs less than 190 pounds. Moving on to number 6. What is the probability that a randomly selected tire will have a life of at least 30,000 miles? At least means greater than or equal to. So let's find the probability that the tire will be at least 30,000. So finding the z-score, you have 30,000 minus 40,000 divided by the standard deviation of 5,000, and that calculation is -2. So drawing your curve, you have 0 in the middle, -2 is to the left, and greater than is all the area to the right. All this is greater than. So let's look at the area for 2, and that is 0.4772. So we take 0.4772, and you're going to add it to 0.5, again, because that total area to the right is equal to 0.5. So adding those two numbers, you have 0.9772. And the last part for number 6 is, what is the probability that the randomly selected tire will be between 34,000 and 46,000? So let's find the probability between 34,000 and 46,000. Let's calculate the z-score for 34,000 first. So 34,000 minus the mean of 40,000, divide that by the standard deviation, and that is -1.2. And the z-score of 46,000, 46,000 minus the mean, 40,000 divided by the standard deviation, and that is equal to +1.2. Drawing a graph, again the middle is 0, so you're going from -1.2 to +1.2. So the area between here, and you're going to add those two areas, again because they're on opposite sides of the mean, or in other words, the mean is shaded. So let's look at the area of 1.2. 1.2 is 0.3849. So 0.3849 plus 0.3849 is 0.7698. And that completes chapter 7.